Okay, back with a couple more Wisconsin offensive line coach potential candidates. Now, again, just to preface, with the previous two videos of candidates, I have no insider information on who the actual candidates are. A lot of these are wishful thinking and my opinion, but it's good to kind of dig in and look to see what kind of coaches are out there who are available. So the two coaches that we're going to be talking about today are candidates that I'm thinking are more swing for the fences. If we get them, they would be a major coup for the program, and both with their experience and with their expertise. So, with that being said, let's take a look at our first candidate, and it is Ed Warner, who is currently the offensive line coach, run game coordinator, and associate head coach for Florida Atlantic. There is a Luke Fickell connection here, as he was, as you can see, at Ohio State from 2012 to 2016, holding various titles, and he would be a major win. He has been coaching for almost 40 years and has had many Power 5 stops, including, as you can see here, Michigan, Minnesota, Ohio State, Notre Dame, Kansas, Illinois. The list goes on. And why I think he would be a good fit for the Wisconsin system. Currently, he's at Florida Atlantic, where Tom Herman is the head coach. Tom Herman was his co-offensive coordinator when he was at Ohio State. And Tom Herman runs a very up-tempo style offense with an emphasis on the power spread run game. An offshoot of the New Hampshire Mafia style offense, but he was the predecessor to Ryan Day at Ohio State. So run game wise, I think he would be a perfect fit for what we're trying to do. Run wise, Wisconsin's offense is the air raid passing scheme combined with the package plays, RPOs, and a power spread rushing attack. And I think he would be a great fit there. Also, of course, since he has spent the majority of his coaching career coaching in the Midwest, I think he would be great for recruiting in the Midwest, get the type of kids that we want to get. So those are a couple things that we can see in his resume that are going to stick out. The Ohio State connection is going to be important, and I think it would be the one thing that could draw him to Luke Fickell. Now, just a little thing that I like too is that he spent 15 years coaching at service academies. So he knows how to coach tough, physical football. And I think that's something that we can get back to and still run a modern offense. All right. So that's Ed Warner. I will say it is going to be tough to get him out of Boca Raton. He's an older coach. He's in his early 60s, I believe. So maybe Florida Atlantic is that last job. But you never know. He might want one more shot at the big time. All right, so that's Ed Warner. Second candidate would be the home run hire out of home run hires with the offensive line, and that would be Herb Hand, who is the co-offensive coordinator, run game coordinator, offensive line coach at UCF. Okay, he is another guy who has an extensive coaching career and has had lots of Power 5 stops, again, including Penn State, Vanderbilt, West Virginia, coached some really good teams at Tulsa before moving on to Auburn, Texas, and now most recently at UCF. what I like about what he brings to the offensive line group, again, is the system where he's spent a lot of time in here, as you can see with Gus Malzahn. Gus Malzahn is the head coach at UCF now. He's been there with him since 2021. He was with him at Auburn in 2016, 2017, and he was the offensive line coach, co-offensive coordinator with Malzahn when Malzahn was the offensive co-offensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach at Tulsa. And Gus Malzahn's rushing attack, the best way I can put it, it's the wing T in a spread form. It is high tempo, but with a lot of misdirection, a lot of movement, a lot of moving the offensive lineman. And you have to be very fundamentally sound to run schemes like that. And I think we can see here, we look at some of his accolades that he has over these last few years. He could develop good players. Again, first year in the Big 12 this year had 2 all-conference players. In his two previous years when they were in the American, all 5 of his starters were all-conference players. And you can see the stats where 9th in rushing, 16th in total offense in 2022, put up almost 300 yards against Florida in a bowl game in 2021. Going back to Texas, again, the numbers there speak for themselves, and the players that he's developed speaks for themselves. So he would be the home run hire when it comes to offensive line coach. I think systematically he's a great fit. There is no personal connection to anybody on the staff that I've seen, so that could make things difficult. Also, the fact, again, he's in Orlando, and he's not as old as Ed Warner, but I think he's pushing his mid-50s. So again, maybe Orlando is a great place to finish up a career. But he's proven he's coached at big-time programs. A lot of these moves where he's changed jobs over these few years has nothing to do with him and more to do with head coaches losing their jobs. So that would be interesting to see. Again, I guess the one Ohio State connection here that could, by proxy, get to Fickell would be when he was at Texas, because he was Tom Herman's offensive line coach. So that could be, again, Tom Herman has been a good source of coaches so far for us. Kenny Guyton came from that tree as well. So there you go. There's 2 candidates for us, Ed Warner and Herb Hand. I would say in terms of likelihood, Warner would be at the top of the list based on his familiarity, but maybe Herb Hand has a little bit more to offer the program now. All right, so there we go. Coming next time, we are going to finally take a look at the candidates that, well, Wisconsin fans are the only candidates they care about, and that will be the alumni. Players who've come from the Wisconsin program who are now potentially candidates for the offensive line coaching job. Spoiler alert, Joe Thomas is not on that list. All right. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.